So, hi everyone, I'm Rejhenneis Karunanithy. So, I'm talking about the Food Act 1983. What is the Food Act 1983? Okay, the Food Act is the principle of the law in Malaysia that's called the Food 1983, which is developed by the Food Safety or Quality the Division by Malaysian Ministry of Health. What is the objective for the Food Act 1983? So the objective is to protect the safety from hazard health or any fraud of preparation, selling or any using of food and all the related by things that they are do. Right, so the next about the explanation of this case. Right, so this case related with the Food Act 1983. So I'm choosing the article. The news was happened about Penang Eatery ordered closed after the rat droppings found. So this thing happened on the Lebu Chambel at Georgetown, Penang. Right, so the real case happened on 23 April 2019, and then which is the case is the Wonton Mee restaurant. They are improper sanitation, so the state health department was conduct and checked every environment places, especially they are found some rat was dropping and moved everywhere for the especially the kitchen side. So they are also checked with the improper entire and especially the work environment is very poor sanitation. So the state health department, they will warn it and take decision. They will order it to close the restaurant over 2 weeks. Okay, right. So next about the legal prevention in imposing penalty in the case. Okay, right. So based on the case, section 13, which is food containing substance injures the health. For example, which is poisonous, harmful or injurious to health will committed this case. For example, any person who prepare or sell the food will committed this case. Okay, what's the penalty of this case? The first thing is they will not exiting to pay 100,000 ringgit to be fined. Okay, or imprisonment not exiting to 10 years, or both will happen based on the case. So the next is about how to occurrence to prevent this case. Okay, the first is about training and education. So training and education must be provided to all the food handlers to proper hygiene practices, safe handling, sanitation, and the importance of personal hygiene cleanliness to improve the premise. Okay, the second thing about the proper food storage. So every food handlers by training how to food storage, including temperature control and separation of the cooked foods. Okay, the lastly about the cleaning and sanitation. So that is the main important to maintain and clean and sanitize every work environment to avoid the animal substations. Okay, right, the conclusion about the Food Act 1983, that is instrument of shaping the operational of landscape of food restaurant by adhering the prevention of legalization restaurant not for fulfilling of legal things only. They also to demonstrate a very good commitment to well begin the customers food safety and the dining trustworthy environment.
Hi everyone, let me introduce myself. My name is Cher Yi Ling and my metric number is 09DHM21F2024. Today I would like to talk about Trade Description Act 2011. So what is Trade Description Act 2011? and to promote good trade practice by prohibiting false trade description. Second, false or misleading statements, conducts and practice in relation to supply of goods and service. And the last one is protecting the interests of consumers. So, for the false statement, Section 16 prohibits the making of false representation as to the supply of approval of goods or service. They also examine in the context of Halal certification in Section 17 prohibits the making of false or misleading statement concerning the supply of service. So Section 18 prohibits a person from making any false or misleading statement in any advertisement in relation to any goods or service. False or misleading trade description. It is an offense to apply a false trade description to any goods. It is also an offense to sell, supply, or have in possession goods with false trade description. In this regard, where the trade description is false or misleading on one more of the factor involved. A description need not be completely false in order to contravene. A trade description is considered false. First, it is false to a material degree or false when it matters. Second, it is misleading. So, for the defense, Section 22, offense due to fault of another person. Section 23, defense of personal cosmetic use. Section 24, defense of mistake, accidents. Section 25, innocent publication of advertisement. Okay, so here is the case or news about who offends the Trade Description Act 2011. Our summary is, the Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs Ministry has seized 81 packets of fat melon and Nescafe coffee powder worth 1,300 ringgit in Shah Alam. So the operation was conducted in response to complaints about advertisement of fake products on Facebook, which found a seller who was selling fake products at a lower price. A female suspect was arrested at the house, and that house was used as a warehouse to store their goods. Okay, so the next is the legal provision in imposing the penalty for the defendant in the case. In this case, the defendant will be charged under Section 51B of the Trade Description Act 2011 and Section 18(1) of the Trade Description Act 2011. So for the first section, 51B of the Trade Description Act involves individuals who supply goods with false description. So if the defendant is a corporate organization, the fine for the first offense shall not exceed 250,000 ringgit. If the offender is not corporate body, which is individuals, the fine for the first offense shall not exceed 100,000 ringgit or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 3 years or both. Furthermore, Section 18(1) of the Trade Description Act 2011 prohibits false or misleading statement in any advertisement relating to goods or service. So, if the defendant is a corporate organization, the fine for the first offense shall not exceed 500,000 ringgit. And if the defendant is not the corporate body, which is individual, the fine for the first offense shall not exceed 250,000 ringgit or imprisonment for the term not exceeding 3 years or both. Okay, so the next is prevent the occurrence of the same case. The first is strengthen enforcement. How to strengthen enforcement? So by relevant authorized such as the Ministry of Domestic Trade and Consumer Affairs (KPD) and HTDAS. They must conduct regular and unannounced operation based on information and complaints from the public. So second, organize public awareness campaigns. By organize awareness public campaigns to educate the public on the risk of purchasing fake goods and how to recognize fake goods. They also must encourage consumers to report suspicion products or sellers, such as the Nestle company, right? They educate the public on how to recognize the fake Milo and packets of Milo and the real packets of the Milo. So the third is take action and penalties. Ensure that legal action is taken against individuals involved in the manufacture and sale of fake products. They also impose strict penalties to deter potential offences. Okay, so for the conclusion, the Trade Discretion Act 2011 in Malaysia is essential for protecting consumer rights and ensuring fair business practice. It prohibits false description of goods and services to prevent fraud, with penalties serving as a deterrent. Thank you. So for the next subtopic, I will pass to Alwi.
Hi, Assalamualaikum. My name is Muhammad Alwi bin Muhammad Iskandar. My number is 09F2016. So today I want to tell to you all about branch of Halal certification, procedure, and the construction of non-complainant. So the introduction is Halal certification is a certificate from authorized body confirming food or product permissible consumption by Muslim. It is issued by the Islamic Development Malaysia, JAKIM, and State Islamic Religion Department, JAI Jain Department, and Forest Halal certificate are recognized for important product. The next I will tell about the case that have been done before. So as you can see, the secret recipe halal certificate revert with the hygiene violation. So I will explain about the case. In the Eastern, we can state the company use of ingredient had no bearing on the halal certificate for the secret recipe. Rather, it was revoked because of hygiene violation. The infraction is related to breaking good manufacturing procedure and the Malaysia Halal certification produce manual. The corporation promised to act properly regarding the action as soon as the case was filed. There are no issue if the company want to reapply for the Halal certificate. JAKIM also bind anyone who option a halal certificate and forbid anyone from speculating about the business. So for this slide, I will tell about the hygiene and sanitary requirement. In section 1001, such an order is made in writing issued by Deputy Director General of Health or by official authorized by him in the respect if after the expiry of the time frame, the food premise has not complied with the order, another order can be issued by the military in section 10(2). So I want to tell you how we prevent this case will happen before. The first one, we have to health check. Food handler must undergo a health check option, vaccination from registered medical practitioner before being allowed to handle food in food premise. The second one is cleaning of the food premise. Food handler shall be responsible for ensuring that the food premise where food is handled remain clean and free from rubbish, vermin, dirt or soot, ash, residue, raw material, residues and cobweb at all time. The third one is food handling and use of food. Universal food handler must ensure that food handling and the use of the food utensil and food container are handling cleaning and safety. The next is cooperation with authorities. Prevent food poisoning by establishing cooperation between health inspection, food operator, consumer to monitor food hygiene and sanitation. So for the conclusion is the issue of cleanliness is the work in the workplace is very important to note because it can affect the health and comfort of employee as well as work productivity. Some of the hygiene problem in the workplace that often occur including the lack of cleaning staff, poor workplace engagement, and the lack of awareness among the trader in disposing of rubbish. To overcome the problem, strategies such as increasing the number of cleaning personnel, trending place arrangement, stricter parking arrangement, security arrangement, and providing temporary rubbish bin for trader can be done. In addition, it's also important to increase awareness and education about hygiene, work safety, as well as provide adequate facility. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hello, hi, I'm Ranjahna Shamuganathan here, number matric 090HM 21F2003. Today, I'm going to talk about tourism sector, which is Malaysia Tourism Industry Act 1992. What is Tourism Industry Act? The Act strives to assure that the tourism industry is run sustainably and responsibly as well as to support its growth. Ministry of Tourism, Arts and Culture is a requirement under the Act for some tourism related firms including travel agency, tour companies and tourist guides. Okay, for the next slide, I'm going to talk about an article that I choose to attach in this slide. Okay, the summary of the case. Travel agent who were scammed Haji pilgrims and involving the quota allocated to Lembaga Tabung Haji. And the group also claimed the agency had never shown their flight tickets and visas to perform the Haji. The victims each paid thousands of ringgit to go to Mecca. But is unclear position the man holds in the travel agency. Kalai District Police Chief ACP Imran Abdul Rahman told Astro Awani that police have interviewed the owner of the travel company, who is now a suspect in the case. The case is being probed under Section 420 of the Penal Code for cheating, which is provides for jail terms up to 10 years, wiping and a fine. Okay, for the third slide, I'm going to talk about the legal action or penalties for this case. First, based on Section 5 in Tourism Industry Act 1992, all tourism enterprise travel agents and tour operators must be licensed. Moreover, failure of which render the person guilty of an offence and shall on conviction and then be liable to be fined not exceeding Rm 50,000 or imprisonment for a term not exceeding 5 years or both. Okay, and then for the fourth slide, I talk about the recommendation to prevent the occurrence of the same case. First, government should take action and make sure that all travel agents and tourism enterprise must have license. Secondly, people should always check the company's background before they spend their money on something. Thirdly, the government, those who scam people might be fined Rm 50,000 or imprisonment or even both in the time. Okay, we are going to last part, which is conclusion. Conclusion for this case, The scam involves the fraudulent sale of pilgrimage packages, exploiting the religious significations of the Hajj. For instance, the Malaysian Association of Tour and Travel Agents, which is MATA, has proposed the impositions of a prison sentence for travel agencies involved in Hajj pilgrimage scams. Additionally, there have been discussions about taking legal action under the Tabung Haji Act 1995 to address the scam. The prevalence of Haji fraud is matter of concern globally, with reports of fraudulent activities targeting pilgrims in various countries. The proposed measures seek to address these challenges and ensure the integrity of Haji pilgrimage arrangements. Thank you.